Hey guys, welcome to another MYXclusive interview. You're all with me, Sam with two M's, and as you guys can see, I have a very special guest here with me. They are a Cebu alt pop band, and everyone, I've had them here on the show before, and I've also met them actually in Cebu. That was the first time I actually met them almost 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been quite some time since then. But everyone, please welcome Luigi and Icy of Sepia Times.
Hi guys.
Woo!
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Hello. Of course, we're always excited to have you here. And last time, guy was saying na sayang IC wasn't there last time, but we're so happy that you're here on Exclusive now. So how are you guys? How's things? How's life?
Go ahead, Ice.
Um,
Go
I mean,
IC.
like, yeah. Ice, your turn. You were here last time, right?
I'm finally here. I'm doing all right. Nothing. Yeah, I'm just doing fine. How about you, Luigi?
Things are. I can't believe I can't believe that we're still in our homes after a year after our
Mhm.
first interview. But we're still here, and I guess we're still alive. So being alive is good, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. It is good. I feel like that's very important,
Yeah.
especially nowadays. There's so many things happening. So being healthy and alive is one of the things we are super grateful for. But I know you guys have been busy with music. Of course, you've had a lot of releases, especially you're the new album. But aside from music, what have you guys been up to?
I think just trying to survive every day is
Mhm.
the key. No, actually, no, we have work as well. So
Mhm.
I can't really I don't really want to talk about what I do for a living,
Mhm.
but I see he does some online stuff, and I also
Mhm.
work. I actually music is pretty much everything I do. I'm not a very interesting person.
Uh, but music is a very interesting thing. So the fact that you do it, is
Uh,
something that makes you interesting. See, I got you. How
uh,
about you, IC?
I hope.
Yeah, I have a couple of day jobs, but I mean, other than that, the usual like social media, the internet, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
music.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
since we're stuck at home, a lot of video games.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think
video
that's a
games,
lot of us.
movies.
The
Yeah.
internet, video games, live streaming. I mean, that's a lot of us talaga, especially during this time. But also on the music front, since you guys do a lot of music, how has it been really exploring music or trying out new things and staying creative despite everything that's been happening?
Well, you know, it's a lot more interesting when you can hang out with people
Mm-hmm.
at the studio, or that option isn't really available to us at these times. So I think it's really easy to get burned out
Mm-hmm.
from making music at home so much and writing at home. So definitely more challenging than it used to be. But
Mm-hmm.
you know we've been communicating online. I think a lot of the things that when we're making music, it's a lot of it's online now. So
Mm-hmm.
we're grateful that we can actually still do the things that we love to do,
Mm-hmm.
ha- despite it taking more effort. What do you think,
Mm-hmm.
guys?
Yeah, what you said, and but it's also been like this period of time has also been really great for music with a lot of people, releasing
Mm-hmm.
often. And so if it's very easy to be inspired by these artists.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah, I think it's just been this really weird phase of music making and music releasing, and it's interesting, but it's also like I miss how things used to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We all can agree. Yeah.
that's
Something
so
interesting though
true.
is
Mhm.
it's opened a couple of doors for us because we've done things that we don't normally do Uh, Icy got to collaborate with some other artist friends from Cebu, which
Hmm.
I don't know if it would have happened if we yeah in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like although, this year has taken a lot from us, diba? Took a lot of experiences and opportunities away from us, but it also gave us a lot of opportunities that we didn't really expect or didn't see coming, which I think is also a great thing. So it's nice to see that you guys have also been experiencing those things. But you said nga na there have been a lot of difficult things, especially when it comes to making music, but you guys were still able to release an album just very very recently, which is The Art of Human Part 1. So let's talk more about the newest album. So could you take me behind the thought process that you guys had for this album, especially the title, which is The Art of Human?
Yeah. Sure.
Um, I think I think the concept and the songwriting behind every song in the album just came naturally to us. It was like because we're very much people who like to write about things that we're going through, or
Mhm.
that's just how we
Mhm.
automatically wire that's how we're automatically wired. So
Mhm.
um it just so happened that every song is about you know the 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 things that has to do with being human, the hard stuff, the sad stuff. And yeah, we also worked on it with our creative director Nico Tan, who really you know came up with the vision and like an actual the actual concept. And um yeah, what else can you say? Luigi?
Yeah. I think the title is very self-explanatory. So
Mhm.
all of the stuff that we go through, living, just existing in the world, and trying to find meaning, because the way I view things, life itself doesn't have an doesn't have an inherent meaning. It's just us giving the meaning. It's us
Mhm.
trying to give meaning to our own existence. So
Mhm.
a lot of the album revolves around that. Breakfast, for example, it talks about wanting to be a better person, but the next day you're still the same old you, the same, wanting to change, not being able to. Fade to Black
Mhm.
is about that as well. Window
Mhm.
pane is uh yeah. I think that's a central concept with the album, is just the art of existing and
Mhm.
trying to find meaning in being.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure. And I think that's something that's super relevant given the past year. Especially, we've spent a lot of it at home, kind of isolated. So, a lot of us contemplated the existence of being and just existing, which I think a lot of us really put a lot of thought into, especially in the last year. So for the two of you, Luigi and Icy, speaking of, the idea of existing and all of that, I'm sure throughout this process, throughout the year, but also throughout creating the album, you guys learned new things about yourself during this time. So what would you say was the biggest thing you learned about yourself?
Mm. Give me a minute to think. I see. Go.
Go, go.
Well,
Yeah.
you
I feel like I
know,
see can answer this better.
I personally have gone through some big um, goals during this time
Mhm.
because, obviously with the pandemic, we haven't been getting gigs, which is like our
Mhm.
main source of livelihood. And
Mhm.
so I was forced to find a day job, which is personally, it's it was very scary for me, and I was very scared. Um, but
Oh wow.
I was with the help of friends and support system. I was able to push myself into
Yes.
going out there and you know, not staying inside my comfort zone. So I
Mhm.
think like that was like a huge thing for me, and it made me realize that I can do stuff and I can
Mhm.
do things even though I'm scared. I should just do them, and who knows, it doesn't matter if you fail. It just
Mhm.
matters that you took the step forward. Um and yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. What about
I
you?
love that. I
That's
love
sweet.
that. Go, Luigi. Go, go.
Nice. Oh, okay. Uh, well, when it comes to epiphanies and
Mhm.
self-realizations, I'm pretty sure I had a couple within that time frame of within that time frame. No, it's like hard to keep track sometimes because you're changing
Mhm.
so much. You're changing so much
True.
within a certain period of time, and then it's just it's impossible to just keep to quantify the change.
Mhm.
Like when you're growing up, how you're growing up, you're getting taller, and then you just don't notice, but you're already 4 centimeters.
6 foot.
Yeah,
Joke.
what whatever height you grew 6 centimeters in a
Yeah.
couple of years. You don't even realize that. So that's
Mhm.
sort of like an analogy of what happened throughout
Mhm.
the throughout the pandemic. Uh, I feel like I've grown. I guess I've
Mhm.
grown artistically artistically in a lot of ways. I feel like I've improved. It's given me time. It's given me more focus, maybe, or
Mhm.
maybe it's just a coincidence. I could be wrong. Uh, but yeah, I do feel like I don't want to romanticize the tough times in any way. But
Mhm.
I feel like it is a fact that I personally have realized, and I feel like I've improved in certain skills
Mhm.
throughout the pandemic because I was forced to focus on specific things.
Mhm. That's
Like
good.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of us also. Parang with everything that happened in the last year. I mean, isn't that what being human is about? Like growth and change. I mean, that's one of the most constant things about change to the guy. And even though, like what Luigi said, we don't really notice it, it just really happens, and we don't really get to notice it. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. But going back to the album, of course, like I said, the one you released is The Art of Human Part One. So what made you guys decide? I mean, if there's a part one, there's obviously a part two. I mean, I'm assuming so what made you guys decide na gusto niyong gumawa ng like two parts for the album?
There are a lot of reasons. There are a lot of reasons why we had split it into two parts.
Mhm.
Uh, some of which we cannot talk about,
Oh.
and but I guess part one and part two is sort of we thought of it as a collection of essays. The analogy is like
Mhm.
a collection of essays on how to exist and how to find meaning.
Mhm.
And since we knew that we couldn't put everything out at once, we thought it would be
Mhm.
a good idea. And in the conceptual side, to have a part one and part two, like how novels have part one or part two, or how
Yeah.
encyclopedias or studies have a volume one and volume two. So we
Mhm.
thought it was a good idea. It we would have loved to, we would have loved to put everything out at once, like a big old album with 12 tracks, 10 tracks. It's just that stuff happens, and
Mhm.
we had to compromise, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. So I'm really curious to know. Like you said, there are also reasons that you can't share with us, but I'm sure we'll have to wait a little bit. Eventually, maybe we'll get to know those reasons too. But I mean, I feel like it's also a great decision on your part then, because I mean, that's more music to look forward to also. So I feel like that's a great thing, and so people can look forward to so many music from you guys. But I want to ask you also, what was it like creating the album? Like, did you guys try out any new
Oh,
things for the album that you're very excited about?
all right. Yeah. I, Icy has an interesting story about how we made this album.
Mm.
Oh, So these songs have been in the making for like 2 years now.
Oh.
And you know, I personally find recording very difficult.
Mhm.
I think it's a mind thing where I feel like I don't know if like I know that there are like singers out there who can relate to me, but it's when you're alone, it sometimes feels like you're the only one who's experiencing these things. But like I get really there's the I get like there's like hesitation and like anxiety that comes with recording vocals. And so there were a couple of times when I would get really frustrated because I would have to repeat a, a line for so many times, to the point where I kind of stopped and had to like take a minute to cry or like I don't know, take a minute to like break down. And so um yeah, making this album was very challenging, but
Right.
I feel like I have learned a lot, and I feel like through this experience, I've taken in a lot of things, and so maybe for the next one, I'll be I'll be fine, hopefully.
Yeah. How long did it
Yes,
take
I
us to make
think
this
so.
album? How long did it take
I
us to
think
make? Uh,
I think
I
it's
would
been in the works for two
say
years, right?
2 or 3 years.
2 years.
Two, 2 or 3 grueling years. I remember. I remember because a lot of these songs we've had for years, and
Mhm,
at some point, I think I was so tired of the songs that I was just so tired of the songs. You get to that point as an artist,
mhm,
and you just wanna stop and make new ones. And I think I was like that at some point. Also, something interesting as a music producer is you've made for me in my personal experience. I worked on the songs ever since 2017. I see, right? Was it
mhm,
2017 or 2018? And now that we're releasing them, it doesn't feel like an accurate representation of what I can offer as a musician.
mhm.
So in that vein, it's sort of frustrating because it's like it's like you're trying to introduce yourself, but you're showing a photograph of yourself from 3 years ago. Does
Oh.
that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes
Like,
sense, yeah.
yeah, and sometimes it worries me that it gives the wrong impression of what we can offer musically. But
Mhm,
I'm still happy that we were able to put out the art.
mhm. Yeah, I feel like that's still something that you should be proud of because like what you said, it might not be like the best accurate picture of what you can do now, but it still kind of serves like as a time capsule of like your life, certain points of your life because like you said it's 2 to 3 years in the making and now it's finally here. So how does it feel that after those like what Luigi described it as 2 to 3 grueling years, how does it feel now that the album is actually out and like people can listen to it?
I feel I didn't expect to feel I didn't expect to feel as good as I did when it came out. I was yeah like when it's like when you're having a birthday, and then as you grow older. Sorry, I'm throwing so many analogies. I'm throwing out so
No,
many
it's
analogies, but
fine.
it's like when you have a birthday, and then over the years as you get older, it's not even you don't feel that it's as special a day as it used to be. It's like, oh, just
Mhm,
okay, it's my birthday, cool. It's just another day.
mhm,
Um, that's how I thought the album release was going to feel like for me.
mhm,
But then I saw the outpouring of all the comments and the nice things that people had to say about the music and how
mhm,
they liked it. And
mhm,
I guess that was validating for me. It was a validating experience, even though it wasn't me. It's not me now. It's not me
Mhm.
now. It was really nice to have people say they liked it.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's always a great feeling. I mean, even if you
Yeah.
expect it or not, that's always a nice feeling. But how about you, Icy? How does it feel that the album is finally here? Well, part one at least.
Um, I was very worried that
Mhm.
we were gonna disappoint people because a lot of people have been telling us that they've been waiting for these songs
Mhm.
to come out or for our album to come out
Carl.
because we've been
Carl.
teasing it for like a year now, and so um, I was disappointed. No, I wasn't disappointed. I was worried that we were gonna disappoint people because it's just
Mhm.
like not only are we, I mean, we're just releasing one part which has like 5 songs and with just one new track. So
Mhm.
I was worried that people were gonna be like, "We've already heard these songs before. You're just gonna this is just like one new song. Um,
Mhm.
have I been waiting for nothing? I don't know.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
but thankfully, thankfully they're being so lovely and so
Mhm.
sweet and so supportive. That I feel like part two is gonna be part two is gonna be worth the wait.
Part two. You
Ooh.
guys need
Ooh.
you guys need to hear part two, but not yet.
Oh. Oh, I love that. But I feel like I can imagine as an artist when you're building an album or any kind of release, there are a lot of like thoughts in your head. You're like nervous but also excited. But I can imagine like when it's finally released, it kind of feels like a weight has been lifted also. So it's really nice that you guys are feeling all these feelings, especially after the release of the album. But speaking of part two, a lot of people in our comments are actually asking when they can expect part two. Like they said, it's been 5 days since part one was released. When can we get part two? So I'm leaving the question to you guys. When can they expect part two to come?
Part two.
Mhm.
What month is it now?
It
It's
is now May.
it's May. I see. Well, I'm pretty sure that part two. I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
Hopefully I don't jinx it, but part two is coming out later this year.
Okay.
You can quote me on that. That way we'll
Okay, we
feel
got it.
pressured. uh, but yeah, I think later this year for sure.
Mhm.
Part two.
Okay, so guys, you heard it here. Part two later this year, so you can hold them to that, like what Luigi said. But people are also wondering what is the difference between part one and part two. Like you said, you guys are very excited for part two. So what can they expect coming from part two?
Okay. Man, I'm honestly so hyped. I'm so hyped
Mhm.
for part two. I mean, those are still songs. Those are still songs that we've had for 2 or 3 years. But I'm so
Mhm.
hyped because there are there are a lot of tiny musical things to look forward to. We've got a song that'll make you cry.
Mhm.
That's really vague. And a song where I rap, which is
Mhm.
I've never rapped in any Sepia Time song before, but it happened. We recorded a rap part,
Mhm.
and there is sort of a rock ballad song which we also have not done yet. So a lot of interesting interesting musical things that happen in part two.
Mhm.
We also want to get that off our chest, and then finally we can start releasing new music. But
Mhm.
yeah, super hyped for part two. What else is different
Ooh.
from part two, Ice, that you can recall?
Um, I don't know. I just feel like we're gonna be surprising a lot of people
Ooh.
with what we have to offer. I guess because it's
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
like we we explored on many different sounds and like
Mhm.
Yeah.
genres, I guess. And so we hope that everyone is accepting, and we hope that it's people love it.
Yeah. Also,
Ooh. Mhm.
Part one has albums that I sorry albums. Part one has songs that we play live all the time, so
Mhm.
people know the
Yeah.
songs. Sort of like people who go to our shows know the songs by heart. Part two, all the songs we have never played live before. Yeah, so
Ooh.
it's
Except,
definitely gonna be
I think,
something.
except one.
Oh yeah, well, one one song, but 90% around that we've not played live. Yeah,
Ooh.
should be.
Oh, so guys, you heard it here. We are going to expect those songs on part two, and Luigi's very hyped. Both of them are very hyped for you all, or for all of us, to hear part two of The Art of Human. So we have that to look forward to before the year ends. Like Luigi said, I'm not saying it; he said it. But we're all so excited because you guys tried out new sounds also for part two, and I'm sure your fans and all of your listeners would love to hear the new stuff that you guys have been working on as well. But aside from that, can we expect anything else coming from you guys, especially this year, aside from the part two of the album?
Well, uh, besides besides Sepia time stuff,
Hmm.
I guess, because we're quite focused on part two and everything that comes after.
Hmm.
Uh, I see. Is it okay if I plug some some
Yes, yes,
other?
go.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
I guess if we're not limited to Sepia time stuff,
Yeah.
the Sundown, my other band is releasing
Hmm.
a lot of new music as well. If you don't know the Sundown, go check them out. And I will be releasing some solo music, which
Ooh.
I've always been insecure about because I think my voice sucks. I think my singing voice sucks, but that'll be something interesting. I feel as proud. I feel the most proud as I've ever been of of my current solo music work. I'm as proud as I've ever been of it, and I feel like I can actually release something this year. Yeah.
Yay! Oh my gosh. So, guys, you also heard it here first. Luigi will
Oh
also be
dang!
releasing some
That is actually
solo stuff that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no. That's I haven't actually announced that, so I just realized that this is the first. This is sort of the first time I'm announcing it.
Yeah, so guys, we have that to look forward to, of course. Aside from part two of the album, we have Luigi's solo stuff, solo projects that he will be releasing. How about you, Icy? Do you have any plans that you would love to share with us as well, or do you want to say maybe hi to anyone also if you don't want to share anything?
Well, like Luigi said, I have
Mm-hmm.
been like working with a couple of friends
Mm-hmm.
on songs. I have no idea when I'm gonna release them. I'm still in the process of like writing and stuff because, to be honest, I am struggling
Mm-hmm.
writing right now. But yeah, I do plan on releasing solo stuff as well, but I just have no
Mm-hmm.
concrete time frame of when that's going to be
Mm-hmm.
out. Um, I, I also want to say hi to Carl, to the two Carls, and Diane and J. Russ. Hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got a lot of friends in the comments.
Yes, I saw. They're very active, which I love. So we feel the energy through the comments, guys. How about you, Luigi? Do you want to say hi to everyone or give shout outs to anyone?
Oh yeah. Shout out to her name is DM in the comments.
Mhm.
So yeah, dinner song when? Uh, I don't know, man. Maybe when we're about to break up as a band, we'll make a song called Dinner.
Ano ba yan?
Uh, Also,
Bro.
we're not splitting up. We're making music individually, but we are not splitting up. We just
Yes.
want to make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, making solo stuff and doing music together, they're not mutually exclusive, naman. So you guys can do whatever. So we're so excited for all of your future releases. I was so excited to talk to you guys about the album, but also part two that's coming very soon. But before I let you guys go, do you have a message to all of your fans and to all of your listeners as well?
Uh, well, we're not the most inspirational people. but I guess not through prose and not through interviews, but I guess hopefully when the pandemic has passed, which we don't know how long that'll take, but when
Mhm.
live shows come back, we hope we see you guys there and we can have some fun when that happens.
Yes, that's so true. How about you, Icy? Do you have a message for everyone?
Just we're really, really grateful for the people who are still here and the people who are still listening to us. It's been really hard keeping up with everything and all the changes, and so seeing people still support us is very it means so much to us, really. So we just want to say thank you, and we hope you stick around for
Yeah.
whenever this hell ends.
Yes, that is so true. And I'm sure they're all excited to see you both live and in shows and giving all that energy. But for now, of course, we are going to enjoy all of your music online, like The Art of Human Part 1, which you guys can check out on multiple digital streaming platforms. And make sure to keep an eye out for Part 2 coming before the year ends, like what Luigi said. But also, where can they follow you guys on your social media?
All right, so that's facebook.com/sepia times. Instagram is at Sepia Times, and Twitter is at Sepia Times Music. Also, last thing is we want to say thank you to Mix and to you, Sam, for having us, and thank you to Open Door, Ysel, Guji, um, Graham, and Sony Music as well. Yeah.
Also, we're on TikTok now. Just
Yes.
sepia times. Follow us.
Let's go. So make sure to follow them, guys, on all their multiple digital streaming platforms and also streaming platforms, all their social media, sorry. But also make sure to follow us on our social media. You can follow us on Mix. But guys, also make sure to keep an eye out because Kumu Live Events and Mix give you Ben and Ben in concert that's happening this May 22 Saturday at 7 p.m. So to get tickets, all you have to do is go to www.kumu.live and you guys can get two kinds of tickets. There's general admission that gives you access to the concert, that is $4.99, and VIP tickets, which gives you access to the concert and a meet and greet with Ben and Ben, that is $999. So make sure to get your tickets for Ben and Ben in concert, which is presented by Kumu Live Events and Mix. So yay, we can't wait for that. But we also want to thank, of course, Luigi and Icy for joining me today and talking about your music and sharing everything about your music. So thanks again, guys, for joining me today.
Thanks as well.
Thanks for
Yes,
having us.
of course. And thank you to everyone who tuned in to our exclusive interview with Sepia Times. Make sure to stream all of their music on multiple digital streaming platforms. And once again, this has been Sam with two M's and Luigi and Icy of Sepia Times. Woo!